Welcome to another Eight Letters Bookstore Publishing Book Talk. This is your host and creative director, Cindy Wong. And with us today is none other than the author of Least Coins in My Pocket, Doc Wenz Glenn Kagapi. Doc Wenz, welcome. Welcome back to Eight Letters.
Hi, good morning, good morning. Maraming salamat sa invitation, Cindy.
Ayun, thank you so much po sa pagpapa-unlock. Yan, so we're going to talk about a very interesting book. You know, if you're feeling confused with your life struggles, Least Coins in My Pocket brings you to personal journeys of spirituality, redemption, recollection of the past, mistakes included that makes our present and drives us to our future in sheer reflective prose. So this is a collection that will help you understand, that least coins in my pocket is about being inadequate but able to overcome life's challenges one moment at a time. So we're very excited to deep dive into the book, Doc Wenz. I'm just wondering if you have a copy right there with you.
Yes, I have one.
There you go. Ayan, Doc Wenz, thank you so much. I really love the cover because it's so peaceful, and it's something that you can just put on your bedside table, and then you can pick it up, and then again, just it's an easy read. You can read one or two essays at a time. So, Doc Wenz, I'll start with the questions right away. Perhaps, you know, last time kasi you wrote also a collection of essays, but this time around, why did you decide to write a collection naman of lessons? Who are the intended audience of the book?
Okay, the best part of the book is that I decided to be delivered in a one topic, one page format because uh, that's where I can find someone out there who may resonate to the story that I had experienced in my life. Because the book talks about my personal struggle and how overcoming these struggles also sustain my faith and my humanity. And with these struggles, actually, it forms part now of a lesson for others to also look into and maybe find meaning into those lessons that I wrote. And the best part of the book is that because it is one page, one topic format, you don't feel the urge to finish it in one sitting. So if you find something interesting to look into per day or in the afternoon or while having coffee, you can read one page of it and then leave it another one day to read again the other topics that I have written in the book. But basically, it talks about the lessons because now that we are facing in a very cruel society, a lot of people experience so many mental health issues, so many issues of work, so many issues of relationship, and so many issues of doubting our faith. And this book talks about that because it it is something that I want to also share. What I have learned while overcoming all of those problems that I encountered.
Totoo po yan, Doc Wenz. Ayaw ko mang aminin. Well, maybe our world has been cruel for quite some time now, and supposedly, di ba, dapat mas educated na tayo, mas informed na tayo nowadays with the internet. But then, with the internet, parang, oh, there's actually another way, another channel to be cruel. Parang ganun yung nangyayari. But yeah, I totally agree with you. And once again, thank you for writing this book. It's one of the must read in today's world and what's happening. So maraming subjects dito sa book na to. And I think you started with humility. And this is one of the things that you've touched based on. Ito naman, humility. Why do you think it's such an important topic nowadays?
One, because people are so engrossed with what they have gained over their lifetime that they have to be reminded that as we go on living our lives, we have to settle for humility. And humility is not an easy task. It is not something that you can get to the store and buy humility. It requires anyone patience, understanding, faith, and the kindness that You don't have to question why you remain kind, in spite the cruelty you receive from other people. And those humility that you gain from your life lessons and the struggles you have to face every day are the anchor of why we have to be sharing stories that humbles us in spirit and at the same time elevate us in our faith. And the thing with humility is that it has become a very expensive currency actually, Cindy, because now in a society that demands us to compete and be competitive, we usually don't see people who are humble enough to acknowledge that they have a lot of things to learn from others. Because one example I had, Cindy, is working with indigenous peoples. Uh, I thought all the while that before I came into the community, I knew everything from the classroom to the write-ups that I do, to the articles and the researches I do. But when I get into the community, it humbles me because there are people, elderly people, who didn't even went to school and yet they have wisdom to share to me. And that experience I had resonated very well in my day-to-day living because it gives me insights that is not usually taught in school. The insights actually resonated to us when we acknowledge people around us who may know everything that we don't. And that's the only thing that we as people living in a very chaotic world must anchor ourselves upon. Because the currency now seems to be that they wanted people to be self-engrossed, self-entitled, that they forget that humility is one currency that elevates people from whatever struggle they have to face.
Yes, Doc Wens. Ayun, maraming maraming pwedeng pulutan dun sa sinabi nyo. Pero one thing that really struck me the most siguro is, when you were working with the indigenous tribe, and, some of them didn't even go to school, proper school, pero at the same time, they have the wisdom when it comes to life. And hindi naman talaga lahat natututunan sa school. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
saying na, of course, our educational system has its flaws, but still, uh, you wouldn't expect na, ay, ako lang yung nag-aral, so I know lahat, alam ko yan lahat. Um, and sometimes sabi nga nila, the more you know, the more actually that you don't know. Yun. Um,
exactly, exactly.
Mhm. So, yung humility din po, ang hirap lalo na sa mundo ngayon kasi lalo na 'pag kunyari nandun ka sa corporate world, parang kailangan mong i-highlight, "Uy, ginawa ko 'to. This is what I accomplished." But then, how do you think po, puwede po bang mag-draw ng line doon kung, this is what is expected from me, na kailangan kailangan mag-ano ko, i-highlight ko yung mga achievements ko, pero how can I draw the line perhaps?
For me, it's a personal principle I have to not always carry upon my sleeves or put that in my head that I have this and that and I gain this and that because that will allow me to uh, gel into the ordinariness of people. And because you belong to the ordinariness of people, then you somehow self validate what you wanted to, share to other people so that they will know you. Because accomplishment, there's nothing wrong actually of sharing your accomplishment. What makes it wrong is when you arrogate and abrogate upon yourself that you are better than anyone else. No one actually is better than anyone else. In the room, actually, there are people who know better than us, and we have to acknowledge that. And we have to be humble enough to allow people around us to shine also. And by allowing them to shine, we also shine with them. Because for me, the world doesn't revolve around us. We are not the universe. And somehow we learn to accept that we also have our own limitations. And these limitations are not weaknesses. These are a foolproof way of getting into humility. That will not sound collective or something that is being suggested to other people to be humble, because it needs and it learns people to acknowledge themselves as inadequate and to think that they are least in the crowd so that they will be able to help other people actually as they struggle with life. Because ang determining factor kasi dyan Cindy, is that when people start calling out other people without allowing themselves to learn from what they had gone through in life, it doesn't make a connection with other people who struggle. It imposes on them that you are there because you are the expert. But when you allow yourself to learn from, apart from your own personal lessons, learn other people around you and appreciate them, the humility naturally comes to you as a way of life.
Ayun, I think that's a very important lessons for us na uh, if there's a line, it's probably how you deal with other people, because sometimes iba rin yung iniisip mo na ikaw lang magaling, but sometimes no it rubs na rin sa ibang tao, then they can feel it na okay, baka ganito, like they will feel uncomfortable. um okay, another amazing lesson that I found in your book, These Coins in My Pocket, it's yung, speaking kindly. So, especially in this fast paced world with high expectations and people needing to earn a living, we often run out of patience. Parang, kunyari, like where I'm living right now, like everyone's telling you, hurry up, or like talagang nawawala na akong pasensya. Can you perhaps give us a pro tip on how we can extend this patience in order to remember to speak kindly in whatever circumstances?
But one, I think, which is good reminder for all of us, is that we have to believe that tables turn actually. When you are in a position to give or extend kindness, be the kind person in the room. At least, you don't judge people for what they have gone through. Don't question them. Don't cancel them. And wait patiently for them to grow with you. Because there are people actually, I experienced that when I was teaching also. I have students who are not as good, but they are struggling to be good. And that for me is enough. Because if you allow them to grow with you and you're showing kindness to them and giving them affirmation, giving them something to hold on to in spite what they have to go through in life. As they struggle with their lessons, with their requirements and everything, even in the corporate world, you can actually suggest to people, but the ultimate gain actually is how people receive you. And speaking kindly is something that is, for me, uh, essential in our interpersonal relationship. Because even with family members, with friends, we forget to be kind. As if kindness is a currency that you can just get out of your pocket and give to someone else, that you think can pay back. Actually, the same with humility and kindness. It goes together. It goes hand in hand. And it requires us to think of us and ourselves as insignificant in a society that competes with one another, so that you allow yourself to feel and be compassionate about how helping others but also in a way help you in the end of what you are doing in life.
Yes, yun din po yung gusto ko rin kaninang banggitin na magka-connect din itong having the patience and also speaking kindly and also being humble, because I feel na it takes a lot to be mature enough to do these things, to accomplish these things. And sometimes if once you've accomplished these things na okay, alam mo na, um, alam mo na you've been through a lot, and also you want to be the better person, And if you're seeing other people na ganun yung trato nila, sometimes um sabi ko nga, maybe you can just choose to be the better person and choose what is the right thing to do. Ayun. Ayan, thank you, Doc Wenz, for that. Gusto ko lang i-remind yung mga viewers natin ngayon na, if you're watching this right now, make sure to grab a copy of Lee's Coins in My Pocket. Is a collection of great lessons, ayan, from Doc Wenz. You can get it from our website, 8lettersbooks.com/shop, Shopee, Lazada, and also Amazon. Ayan. So, nakapost naman yung mga link dyan sa aming caption. So, make sure to grab a copy. Ayan. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin, Doc Wenz, yung writing process mo. How did you write the book? What was your process in this?
For me, the personal process is that I get to think about a certain experience in life and look at the positivity of that experience and start writing right away. It may not be as perfect as you wanted it because, like for me, if you would notice, I imbibe Wabi Sabi philosophy that in life all are not permanent. So all of your experiences in life, in the daily grind, in everything that you do, that's not permanent. And because it is not permanent, you acquire the necessities on a day-to-day basis. And so when I have the chance to sit down and drink coffee, I write it down on a piece of paper or directly on to my laptop and try to think about how I learn from those lessons and from those life experiences so that it will not also encumber me when the time comes that I want to write. Because we know all writers have that. Na, for me, kasi I do it by piecemeal. Every day, I find good lessons to learn from what I experience with the situation, with the conditions of society and people. I start to sit down, reflect on it, and write.
And thank you for sharing that, Doc Wenz. And it kind of reminded me of the first book, the success of At the Cafe Under the Sun. So, which has a similar approach to it. So, following nga po, yung success ng first book nyo and then now ongoing na yung launching ng second book nyo, we discuss about book three. Is this basically what the third book, what you're going to write about? Is this going to be the theme, similar theme po
The
ba?
third, actually, now I realize that when I came out with the first book that I had, uh, and the second one and the third one coming up, it's a it becomes a sequel for me as I see it now. Because as it unfolds, I now realize that for us to understand the struggle, we have to look at the struggle of society. That is in the first book. And then the second book is a struggle. And then the third book is still the same package and style with what I did for the first two books. But I now put into the experiences of learning these lessons by drinking coffee. So it's more of a space-based setup wherein I went to, say, for example, travel to La Union, travel to Vegan, and suddenly drink coffee there in one street, in one bus stop, in one cafeteria, in one cafe. So I had to unpack all my lessons in one book so that it's also written in the same chronology with the first, second, and the third book. Because the third book actually now deals with how we overcome the struggles that we face that I have mentioned in the book too. So the least coin in the packet.
So more ano po siya, more instructional somehow, parang trilogy. Yan. So
Yeah, yeah. Parang ganun siya.
parang kung gusto mong ma-accomplish yung book 1 and 2, yung mga lessons doon, okay, if you're still struggling, ito na talaga yung ultimate na book na para sa'yo. And we're very much looking forward to that, Doc Wen. So perhaps, now is also the best time para makapagbasa. May napili na po ba kayong piece para sa ating excerpt reading?
For the second book, one I would like to read to the audience listening to us. It's a quotation that I wrote in page 27, and it says, least is best when appreciated. Being least is best when you are appreciated. For me, it resonated to everyone because the thing with people is that somehow, especially in society now, that demands people to be like, again, I've said, be more competitive. They look down at people as if we are a utility that they have to acquire or make an asset of. To me, being least is great when you are appreciated by people who value you, who put premium into your humanity, and who give you the chance to grow. Because everywhere in society, every time in our life, we entered into phases wherein it requires us to grow. And the growing part is, having someone to appreciate us as we grow and confidently lead us to where we should be in the future. That's the more humble and humbling experience we all have to encounter and share and resonate in the kindness we give to other people in the third.
Ayan. Thank you so much. Yan, Doc Wenz. Saan ba natin yan mahahanap sa book?
Nasa page 27 siya actually.
Ayun, nasa page 27. Ayan, make sure to check it out. Yan, page 27. Doc Wenz, congratulations once again for the success of Least Coins in My Pocket. That is a very, very interesting book. Ayan. So, once again, sa mga viewers natin ngayon, sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon, make sure to grab a copy, from our website, 8lettersbooks.com/shop, Shopee, Lazada, and Amazon. So, paperback and ebook versions are available. So, Doc Wenz, last question. Where can we find or where can we find you? Where can we follow you?
Okay. I have a TikTok account that I share on the book that I have written so far. And actually now I have started to use Instagram for that. But basically I'm all around in social media.
Yan, nag-iisa lang si Doc Wenz. Hanapin niyo lang yung pangalan niya, Wendell Glenn Kagapi. Ayan, thank you so much, Doc Wenz, for everything that you do in helping out the community and, of course, for writing this book. And, of course, thank you so much to our viewers and hope to see you again next Saturday. Bye, everyone.